Good morning, welcome to Practice Strokes. And today I want to talk about some products that I'm using that give texture and dimension to some of our paintings. So it's pretty exciting. So I'm going to get started with looking at these paints and the product. I have a few pictures I want to share with you that have some texture in them. Lots of heavy texture. Okay, see the grooves and all that we have in here. There's different texture that builds upon. Looking a little bit like textured oils or acrylics. I want you to see that I plastered on with a palette knife a plastering background. And then down here, this is all built up with stones. Also, there's texture on the pots. All right, see, it makes a difference when you are seeing it in reality instead of in real life, instead of on the video. So see, this has lots of texture on here. And I have a whole online class telling you how to use this. And I want to show you how to use this. So look, there's a fun painting. All right. So let's get started on how this all happens. Okay, so I'm going to use some palette knives. So I have other palette knives that are they're called pure palette knives. They have, I've designed these for working also, but to get started, a lot of you that are beginners, it's real fun to use, these plastic ones because there's 6 of them, but there's all kinds of different shapes. All right, and these work too. See, they're different ones, some smaller ones in my set. And so the thing that's nice to look at, some have angles. And we call those more like painting knives. All of mine metal ones have angle, so that your fingers don't get into your paint, okay? Some of these I use for blending the paint together. And there's like 3 different sizes like this, but we also have one that is angled also. And this little small one can get into a lot of little painting design I want to do. And this is a great scraper. You got all kinds of angles to scrape and lay the plaster down. All right, this isn't really plaster, it's called paste. So I'm going to put all this to the side. I'm going to show you how we're going to blend paint in with the paste. So I have modeling paste and light and fluffy modeling paste, and they're used for different things. So I'm excited to share the difference with you on those. And all of these are on onestroke.com on my website. And then I want to share with you that this mat I use for blending and working in the paste. And these are half price of what they usually are. We used to have these for $29.95. But these are I think in the $13 range. And I just go to the sink. You can use 2 sides of it. This one, I haven't cleaned that side yet, but I wanted to show you, I just use a sponge, even my painter sponges, okay? The One Stroke painter sponges, Donna Dewberry ones, here we go. I use these a lot. And this side of the sponge will scrub off this paint also. So I put a little bit of soap and I cleaned the whole piece now, but I want to show you that I just rub it off that easily. Or I put this whole thing in the sink, wait a few minutes, and then I can wipe it all off. All right, so I'm going to show you that I'm going to blend everything with the paste and all right on this mat. Okay, so let me see, I want to get straight here. There we go. All right, so let's get started. And I'm going to go first. I'm going to get some of the fluffy. It's all fluffy, okay? All right, now with the fluffy, it's very lightweight. All right, so I can come in here and I want to put my paint not in it, because this is what I want to do. I want to come right here and I want to work it in there. to get the texture I want. See, I like to pat it and then go back and forth. Okay. Now I can make it, I'm going to leave it like that, or I can pick up some more and add more texture. So see, it doesn't change the color at all of my paint color that I'm using. This is multi-surface acrylic I'm using here. And this gives you more texture. Can you see that? That's more texture than that texture there. So I'll show you the difference as we're working, okay? So we put this all there. We're gonna wipe it off, separate it so you see the difference from there to there. Okay, so this is the lighter texture, and this is the thicker texture, not as fluffier. All right, then I'm going to use my paste. Well, this paste is really heavy. So this is a whole different feel. All right, now I'm using a lot of it because I want you to see. This one's thick and pasty. And this one's fluffy. So it's fluffy. See? I was trying to think of the consistency. This might be like thick butter. All right. I want to probably whip butter. And this has a whole different feel. It might feel a little gritty to you. But then let's put, let me put another color in here. Let's put magenta in here. Okay. Now, when I'm coming here with the same thing, I'm going to pull it over and work this in. All right, so tap it, that blends it in. But this should not change the color. So I just need to get a little bit more magenta over in this part, which just means I didn't have enough in the middle there. Okay, so you're going to have a thicker consistency. Just remember that. Okay, so there are some colors I'm going to use. This is your palette. So the reason I showed you the palette first is I love that you can work on this. Even the knives, even with the metal, it doesn't hurt this at all. Okay, just so you don't worry about that. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the dark. That's got pieces of dry paint from here. I should have cleaned that before I put it out. So I don't want this in here, so I'm gonna move it over to here. And I can use some of this over here. I hope this is interesting to you. I have a whole online lesson that I'm teaching soon with all three of those paintings I showed you. And so, and it will be online for sale after my live class. The live class is June 18th, and you still have time to sign up if that's something you want to do. But you might be watching this a year from then. This is 2022. All right. And they stay, they're evergreen, they stay there. All right. So a couple of things I want to show you is let's look at, I'm going to pull this up a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to just lay this art paper here so we can look at this a little bit. Now, this also is what I want to show you. I'm going to bring this here and get some of the fluffy. All right. And I want you to see that I have taken and made on canvas with this fluffy or the paste. I have textured and go like this to on the back of that one canvas where I put the house, the front door. I plastered a plastered look So it's got texture. Now there's a couple ways to use this. You can mix it in with your paint, or you can just put this on your canvas, or you can put it on a clay pot. You can put it on whatever. Either way, this is a lot, not as firm when it dries, okay? This is like a strong, heavy plaster. And then what I did afterwards, if you can see this better, I came back with pink melon paint and a lot of floating medium. And I put a wash of that over all of the texture. So the whole background, I don't know, you could feel it, it's wonderful. The whole background, see the plaster filling look there? All right, so that is just this thicker plaster across that whole area. And I drew out the door because I didn't want it on the door. But then I came back, let's take this little rounded tip. And I came back and I did stones. You see this? And those are these stones. Where they're textured, they're not just painted on. Okay, so I'm putting them next to each other. All right, can you see that texture? All right, and when that dries, I just kind of did a wash of coffee latte and then shaded after it all dried. See, I just had that wash of coffee latte. And if it all dried, I took and shaded to get depth right here. And the clay pot has the paste paint right here on those. And that's Pueblo I blended. Okay, so this is not going to dry in time for me to share that with you. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use a couple of things. I want you to see that I can take a brush and I can take this pasty look with some white. And this is the thicker paste. And I can just add, let's pick up some white on the tip. But I have the heavy paste. See, with a paintbrush. So see how that thicker look is? And then all I did was touch the white on there to get a different look, okay? Now I can also come in here and pick up the paste. I want to come a little bit closer there. You come here and then just add thickness and add a little bit of the white. Okay, and I know y'all seen paintings like that. Okay, now let's wash this brush. And one of the things you can do is I can take this, I can take on my paintbrush pull this. Let's get some of that paste. All right, but what I want to show you, so see, you can use a paintbrush or you can come in here with your palette knife. So here's the thicker. Okay, I can get some of the dark green and the light green. All right, here's a really light fluffy. It moves easier. Okay, or here's a big, thicker amount. Now, what's wonderful is that as you get good with these palette knives, which means you have to practice, guys, you can get texture I can come in here and make this whole, look at this, I can move this, wipe it off, pick up a light green citrus green and sap green is what I have here. All right, and then I can come right through here and put a stem. All right, now I can also come and just add some shading by just touching it, but I want you to see how much texture is on there. Got a lot of texture. Right. And if I'm not happy, like if I want to move this around a little bit, okay, I can get a lighter look right here. Then I have the dark green. You can pull it and shade it. All right. You can lift more texture right on top. So this with a paintbrush or with a palette knife, okay? I want you to see that you can get the difference easily. So then I'm gonna pull the stem right into that thick paste with the paintbrush. Whatever you feel like you can control better. All right. So this isn't made for the cardstock. I mean, this art paper. I just wanted to grab something quick to show you this morning, but I would use canvas or canvas board because this is going to pucker this up a little bit because of all the texture. But look how fun that is. I think you will enjoy that we can come in here and we can do pretty flowers. This is your paste, just a thicker paste. Oops. All right. Okay, now I'm going to just wipe that back off so I can still use some of that. And I'm going to come in with some of the, let's pick up white. I don't think y'all can see me doing that. And let me put the white into the white paste. Okay. I just want to color. This paste gets a little bit of not so white when you're putting it, because I did put it on top of some flowers to show you. So oh, right there. So I'm grabbing the white paste and you're just adding it with a palette knife. And I've seen a lot that doesn't look super pretty. But I want you to see if you keep working with it, because we know how to make flowers. You can get this really nice look. And that doesn't look like a perfect flower yet. And this, I put a heavy white on here. I put heavy white. And then I touched here and I pulled it around. That was not on the camera. All right, so if you were on canvas, I just wanted to show you. See, this paper is not going to move the same, but if you're on canvas, you can go around here and clean this up. See if this will let me do this. I can come right in here with water and take off some. This is a little trick that on canvas, that's going to clean up beautifully. All right, and like just if there's a spot that you don't like, you just come right around there and wipe it off with a wet brush. Okay, so we're going to finish this by using some more of this paste. And And we'll just put a big leaf here. I should have got a canvas. I'm making it hard for myself. And we are just going to use up all of that paste. This paste is all brand new. If you don't see it on our site yet, which most of you will, you just go to personally email me at donnaontheroad@hotmail.com, or you can call our office at 352-394-7344. Okay, so look, just think, you can come here and pull, or we can take the green, the dark green, and look, it's got some pink in it. That's pretty too. So this is what I like doing, is going right. I even painted my leaf, so I know with regular acrylic, and then I came on top of it and laid some thickness on top of it. So isn't that fun? Well, I hope you guys like this. I hope I taught you something. This is brand new. First time I'm sharing it on any of these sites. So please get excited, get involved, try it. You'll like it, I promise you. And look at all the product and tools that we have to make it fun for you. All right. So I'll see you next week. Practice. Okay. Bye-bye.